No dog is too much for him to handle. If he goes in and gives Donald Trump a touch, which I don't recommend you do, like in the White House, because you may go into history as the first radical Mexican terrorist that is doing an assault on the president. But energetically, Cesar Millan, if you could energetically just touch and snap this guy out of it, he needs to be snapped out of it.
Yeah.
And this dominant behavior with meeting other heads of state and then putting your freaking paw on them, that's ridiculous. That's inappropriate display of dominance.
Of course, he didn't do that with Trudeau because Trudeau's a boxer. So
Well, Trudeau just didn't go there. He was just looking at them going like, dude, I don't think so. But because Trudeau is calm, assertive leadership.
Yeah, he's a good politician, which means he would like to make everybody feel okay. And there's a lot of competing interests in the country. There's the oil interests, there's the mining interests, there's the forestry interests. There's the immigrant population. There's young people, there's old people. It's a huge country, and it's got a lot of competing factions. So I can appreciate that he's going to do some things that I disagree with, but I don't disagree with him as a person. I really, personally, I have a very high regard for him. I feel like what comes out of his mouth is, as close to the truth as he can get it. He has a vision of the future of how things could be, and that's what he's working towards. He's not pushing against some invisible enemy.
Yeah.
Like
he's working
others.
for something.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him powerful and worth supporting.
Yeah, and effective too.
Yeah.
Things will get done. They will move forward. And it takes what they call the ship of state turns very slowly. There's a huge amount of momentum because you're not dealing just with politicians who come and go. You're dealing with this fantastically complicated and immense bureaucracy that persists for generations. The lifespan of the bureaucracy is way past the individual politicians that come and go. The bureaucracy lives on, so you have to account for that. My daughter works for the federal government. When she started working for the government, there was the previous administration, the Harper administration, which was very much like Trump. They were promoting the fossil fuel industry. They were eviscerating the Department of the Environment. They were foot dragging on climate change. They didn't want to. They really were retrogressive in many ways, and about maintaining the status quo. So when this Trudeau was elected, all of a sudden there was like this log jam that was impeding the flow of the river was released, and things began to move again. And she's kind of at the cutting edge of government action to mitigate climate change and deal with it and so on. And she was very happy with the change of administration. And I'm sure a lot of other civil servants gave a huge sigh of relief when the Liberals came back into power. I think, oh, thank God, things can normalize. Because Canada has a really unique role to play in the world, on the world stage. We're a vast country with tremendous resources and a very tiny population compared to any other landmass, equivalent landmass, and also a very well-educated and sophisticated population, and also a very mixed population, a lot of immigrants and accepting immigrants and refugees at a scale appropriate for the resources of the country. So